take it out of midcourt. Bennett, Chapman, Davender, and Locke are all standing there, and the Cats take it out. In case we press, they were about to set something in line enough. Kentucky takes the ball, their possession. Davender's dribbling.
Georgia's in a high and wide 1-3-1 zone. They're going to try and match up with the shooters and make them lob it.
Chapman holding right corner. Manuel to Chapman, who cuts around, circle, leaning, jumper. And he's good. It went around and around and went in. Chapman hit a jumper. That's who they should go to. That's their great, pure outside shooter. They press us a little. Willie leads Hamilton down, who dribbles it, gives it to Kessler in the right wing. 32-29. Kessler went near the corner to Mack. Long jumper, no good. Rebound, Chapman out in front. Willie tipped the ball, but Chapman managed to control his dribble. He gave it to Manuel. Manuel got in the lane, layup good. Twice, immediately Kentucky scored. And that cuts 5 down to 1. 32-31. They're pressing a little. Hamilton across to Willie Anderson. Willie back to Hamilton. The lead is almost gone in just a matter of seconds. We go on the left wing to Tony Mack. Mack going to feed into Willie. Under pressure. One man from behind, one in front. And who got him? Locke, maybe, huh?
Once again, Willie wants to go down inside with Chapman. He's about 2 inches smaller and post him up. Chapman has to front to take the passing lane away. If Locke does not come, they have the lob. That time they got the lob. Locke got there late and fouled him as he went to the basket.
Willie Anderson on the line. And we've gone 1 minute and 3 seconds, and that's all into the second half. Willie's free throw good. So the Dogs lead 33-31. Willie to get another shot. He got it in within 3 or 4 feet, by the way, on the left side of the basket on the feed pass. Second shot good. 34-31. And we're pressing Kentucky. And Kentucky's Bennett gets it out to Manuel. Willie trying to ride with Manuel, who's coming one way and the other, dribbling behind the back. Going to take Willie up and get across the court. Manuel then leaves it to Davender and runs underneath, and the Cats set it up. Ed Davender dribbling outside. We're in a man-to-man. Davender looks. He fed Manuel. Jump to the right of the circle. In and out. No good, but big giant Locke tipped it in. Kentucky 3 straight trips, 3 straight baskets. Locke's got only 2 points. 34-33. Dogs by 1. Hamilton to Anderson on the left wing to Tony Mack. Tony Mack holding, looking, then to Hamilton deep out at the head. Patrick Hamilton on the left to Tony Mack again. Tony Mack out to Willie at the head, and then to Kessler in a high post. Back to Willie going in. Willie back to Kessler, who dropped it. Tried to pick it up, and somebody hacked at him.
Manuel.
Foul on Manuel. When Kessler low post, they slapped his wrist.
Good little pick and roll. You don't see much of that, but Willie Anderson hit on the high post. Kessler broke off of him. Kessler gives it back, and then he screens the man and rolls to the basket. Good bounce pass. Well executed. The only way Kentucky to stop it was the foul.
Kessler might get 2 shots with this. He does. Good. Number 1. 35-33. Georgia leading Kentucky. We haven't quite gone 2 minutes into the second half. Kessler's second shot. Good. Alec hit him. 36-33. And check the whistle underneath for one moment. One of the officials said something.
I think Willie was touching the ball and impeding their progress to get it in and attack the break.
Manuel gives it out on the left corner to Bennett. Back to Eric Manuel, and Kentucky's going to come down. They're all in white, the Dogs in red. Eric Manuel going to dribble down with that left hand, and now the right hand as he comes across. Now the left hand again. Gives it to Bennett on the left wing. The Cats run a pattern through. Bennett holding, goes back in the corner left side Manuel. They get a set of screen for Davender, no shot. Davender floating over on the right to Chapman in the circle. Chapman to Manuel, who dropped the pass, went to the baseline, picked it up, and Kessler bothered his jump shot, and the rebound's out of bounds. They will give it out to Kentucky under there. Georgia leading Kentucky 36-33 early. Rex Chapman of the Cats looking, holding, wants to feed it out, and does to Eric Manuel. Manuel goes to the right of the lane to Chapman. 16-foot jump, good. As I said before, that's who you give it to. Great, pure shooter, 36-35. Anderson to Hamilton, who has to go behind his back to get against a one-man press. Dogs come down. Hamilton to Kessler over in the right wing. We've got a little 1-point lead early in the second half. We go to Willie. That little pick couldn't use it. He's on the left wing. Now he starts in, then back to Tony Mack outside. Mack drove in the lane under pressure, back out to Willie. Willie rolled around, back to the line, and jumps it in and out. No good, and the rebound, big lock of Kentucky. Willie shot in and spinning, and no good. Davender dropped the ball. Cole and Hamilton have it. Cole made a saving thing. Davender tried to go too soon. It's a Dogs ball, floor mistake. It didn't go out. No travel.
Great court awareness by Cole, the freshman for Conyers, Georgia. Good play.
Hamilton Anderson on the left wing to Tony Mack. Dogs lead Kentucky by a point. Willie to Tony Mack at the head of the key on the right side of Hamilton. Hamilton starts for the corner and catch the call. Davender grabbing at him a little. Haven't gone 4 minutes into the second half yet. Georgia leading 36-35. We'll take it out under our offensive goal.
3 quick team fouls on Kentucky with 16:43 to go in the second half.
Hamilton in the corner to Cole. He's under some pressure, but he dribbles up that side right in front of the Georgia bench. Hands it to Willie. Way back deep outside of Hamilton. Then to Tony Mack on the left wing. Then to Cole out front. Cole's in the circle at the free throw line. Then Hamilton went on the post to Mack. He's up. He shot in and out. And the rebound shove fight under there. Who's it on? Mack had a ball go all the way in and come out. We scored nothing close now, and we haven't the whole tournament, and they called a foul on us. Cole. Foul on Rod Cole was upset on the fight for the rebound. Didn't like the call at all. Kentucky now will come down the floor. Georgia leads 36-35. You have to sink anything you take. So when you get in within inches or a foot or so like that, you've got to finally get one. Chapman to Davender. Kentucky trying to get the lead. Chapman out at the head of the key. Gone about 4 minutes now into this half, just about. Chapman got a screen. Looks, there's a long Chapman. Good. As I said, that's all you do is give the ball to him. He's such a tremendous shooter. Chapman hitting and hitting and hitting. Three-pointer. Kentucky leads 38-36. Dogs come down the floor. Patrick Hamilton sitting outside. Went on the right to Alec Kessler on the right wing, who held back a pass. Then he went down in that corner. Hamilton was fighting possession for the ball. Davender grabbing at him. Tony.
Got an ACC championship final. Duke 65, Carolina 61. Duke beat them 3 times this year.
15:47 to go. Time call. Kentucky leads by 2. 60-second network break here. This is the Bulldog Network.
Georgia families are on the move, and State Farm is there. From Macon to Augusta, whenever you move to a new town, you're in for a lot of work. Finding a new bank, new doctor, new school. But one new neighbor will be easy to find, your new State Farm agent. Because just about anywhere you move, a State Farm agent is there to give you the same good neighbor service you got from your State Farm agent back home.
And like a good neighbor,
for your auto, home, life, and health.
State Farm is there.
If your business takes you out west, fly Delta Airlines. Delta serves all the major western business centers like Dallas-Fort Worth, Los Angeles, and Seattle-Tacoma, Salt Lake City, Denver, and San Francisco. And we do it with our own brand of award-winning personal service. Because when it comes to your business, Delta makes flying a pleasure. At Delta, we love to fly, and it shows. AM 750 WSB.
Kentucky leading 38-36. Cats look a little warm right here, Butch, and we're still not hitting it.
They're shooting the basketball, and Georgia's not. Kentucky's now at the 50% on their field goal attempt. Georgia's dropped to 37%. They shot 41 in the first half. Georgia still has the good defensive pressure. Chapman's heated up. He's got 7 points in the second half. Manuel had a good penetration down the lane, and Locke got his first point of the second half on a stick back. Georgia battling, but it looks like they're running out a little bit of steam. Catch the second win, they'll be okay.
Anderson, Mack, Willie's really talking to Tony at the moment. Kessler, Cole, and Hamilton will come down. Durham came out on the floor about 10 feet to say something else to Cole.
Well, he wasn't talking to Cole. He was talking to Grillo, and Grillo said, "Don't talk to me." And Hugh looked by him and said, "I was talking to Cole," and everybody broke up in laughter. You got to have a little wit in this game. The officials have done a great job, and the coaches have understood it, too.
Kentucky full court press against us, going to give us foul. They're trying to come out. 15:47 to play. We're 2 points down, 38-36. We led 5 at the half. And now they'll hand us the ball. Hamilton looking. We're trying to get it out. We get in the corner with it to Tony Mack. And Tony Mack, then he goes to Patrick Hamilton, and he gets fouled by Davender outside, who slapped at his wrist.
Hey, Kentucky came out of the dressing room a different basketball team. They're not flat. They're playing very well.
Hamilton to Willie to Hamilton. Dogs trying to set up their offense, still on our offensive side. To Mack on the left wing to Willie Anderson. And there's Tony Mack, slam dunk on an alley-oop. Tony Mack broke. His man forgot to cover him, and Willie fed him, and Mack slammed it in. 38-38 tie, and the Cats come down the floor. Eric Manuel working outside, gives to Chapman. Chapman with Hamilton trying to stay with him. Chapman one way and the other, got in a circle, leaned and shot it and missed it. But a foul's called already on Hamilton outside.
I tell you, Hamilton slick. Chapman beat him. As he went up, Hamilton just put his hand on his thigh and moved him gently about 3 inches. A lot of officials that aren't experienced would not have caught it.
15-15 to go. 38-38 ties, second half. Chapman on the line. 2 shots. Rex Chapman, who's had a great start in the first 5 minutes of the second half. He hits it.
He's something, isn't he?
Kentucky leading 39-38. Realize how young he is.
Got that great quickness. Good size at 6'5".
Second shot, both. He hit them both. Kentucky leads 40-38. Willie Anderson out to Hamilton. Back to Willie Anderson. Dogs coming down the floor. We're all in red. Kentucky all in white. And this is a championship on the line here, believe it or not. Willie on the left wing to Tony Mack. Tony Mack starts around. Stops under hard pressure out there, and he goes to Hamilton. Bad pass, but Kessler saved it, picked it up, and scored in midair. He put it back in, a little 9-inch shot, and they fouled us under there.
We call that the bank pass. You throw it to one guy, and his hands are like boards, and it banks in the air, and you grab it and lay it in. Great execution on a muck.
40-40 tie. Willie on the line. We could use a couple of students at the airport somewhere around 9 o'clock. Just a couple. With one cowbell or something.
John Russell from Birmingham, his daughter Indy Russell at Georgia's AD Pie, and she's called and said a bunch of ATOs were driving out.
Kessler hit the free throw. Dogs lead 41-40. Playing all these games in so many hours, we will not quit. Davender under Hamilton's pressure. Davender around the left, trying to go bad low post, and we bothered it enough it's out of bounds. Mack fighting a man. Oh, they had a double low post and virtually a double high on that pattern, and they bounced in low towards Bennett. Ball going to be taken out under there by Kentucky. Dogs lead 41-40. Haven't quite gone 6 minutes. And a man cuts to Davender, and Hamilton leaned around and tipped the ball out of bounds. Give it back out to Kentucky. 14:46 to go. Rex Chapman will take it out. Kentucky's got quickness with the size and stuff. Chapman, the Manuel on the right low baseline. Manuel going in. Stops, backs up. Under pressure defense. Back to Davender going in. He hooked it over. Kessler no good, and Cole rebounds for the Dogs. Kessler bothered the shot in midair. Georgia coming down the floor and leading 41-40. Cole to Hamilton. Patrick looking high post back to Ron Cole, who's out front, gives it to Tony Mack in the left. We feed Willie low. Willie back spins, jumps, boom! Willie hits it. 10-foot fallback shot. Dogs leading 43-40. And coming down the floor is Davender of Kentucky. 14-11 to go. Ed Davender of Kentucky coming down. One on the right side to Chapman. They feed in the post to Bennett. Bennett up, jump, rolled out, but big giant lock tipped it in, almost a quarter of an inch shot. Both hands in his head over the rim. 43-42. Kentucky cuts it to 1. Georgia down the floor. Willie Anderson coming across. 13:51 to go. Willie looking high post. Kessler turns. Back to Willie, right side of the lane. He's caught. He's under pressure across to Hamilton. 17-foot jump. Bang! Hamilton cracked a 17-footer on the left, and the Dogs lead 45-42. Manuel to Chapman. Kentucky coming down the floor. 13:32. Chapman coming across. Chapman on the right to Bennett. Bennett, right baseline, caught, drives, lane, 12-footer. No good. Rod Cole, high of the rebound for Georgia. Over to Hamilton, and the Dogs come down, running past to Willie. Willie in the lane, fed underneath Kessler. They blocked the shot and fouled him. He scored 2 seconds later on a bank. Dogs heating it up a little. 13:15 to go. It's 45-42.
This is exciting. I tell you what, we don't want Locke to wake up, though.
No.
He's only got 4, and they're both on stickbacks. It's 6'11". Georgia has nobody can match up with him.
We just don't have the fatigue, the stamina. We don't have the stamina to play this kind of thing when you play so many games in just so many hours while the other guy rests.
Hey, don't tell Georgia that. Right now, they're going on adrenaline. They don't know they're tired. They don't know what world they're in. Just keep playing. They only got 13 more minutes to do it.
Alec Kessler, free throw hangs, fell out, no good, and that's the best free throw shooter on the team normally. Hit the front rim, the back rim, the left side, and slowly fell out. Alec get another shot, good. Dogs leading 46-42, and Kentucky's Manuel against their pressure out to big Richard Madison, another senior who came in. Back to Manuel. Kentucky down the floor, they're 4 down. Manuel outside, Rex Chapman out high on the right. To Davender, who went in the corner on the pattern cutting. Back outside to Manuel. There's Madison open on the left. He won't shoot. Madison back outside to Davender. Davender across the circle. Manuel drives low baseline. Missed the layup because of Kessler, who rebounded behind him, and Alec got the rebound. Cole came in on one side and Kessler behind. Dogs down. Willie under pressure on the right out to Cole. We came down quickly that time. Hamilton to Tony Mack on the left. Tony Mack standing out on the left wing. Tony Mack dribbles around front out high, decides to take his man in. Tony in, jumps, bang! A 7-foot bank off the right. Dogs are leading 48-42. Madison working across over to Davender. Now Davender walks it down. Mike Herron, a cheerleader, roaring off the bench, waving a towel down the other end. Davender, Kentucky to Manuel. Manuel on the left wing to Davender outside. Davender across to Madison. Low baseline. Manuel jumper off. No good tip. Big Locke got it. We let him score. We would have fouled him. He caught the second tip. Locke scored 48-44. Dogs come walking down the floor with 12:02 to go. Down the middle comes Willie Anderson. Willie looks, bounce pass on the right to Alec Kessler. Back to Willie, deep out on the right. Willie looked at Mack, couldn't do it. Willie dribbling out front to a man cutting, and we couldn't do it. Two men went for the ball, Hamilton and Kessler. We made a mistake off our pattern, but the Dogs lead 48-44. Time calls 60-second local break. This is the Bulldog Network.
The airport cabbie and step on him.
Right.
When you have to eat breakfast on the run, Hardee's is out to win you over. It's the Roadie, a big coffee with our exclusive new practically unspillable yet still drinkable Sure Sip lid.
Little bump coming up.
Plus a rise and shine biscuit with egg topped with ham or bacon or sausage or steak.
We're here.
Oh, gee. What took you so long?
The Roadie Breakfast Special for a limited time at participating Hardee's.
Mitchell Motors Oldsmobile presents the all-new 1988 Olds Cutlass Supreme. The result of 5 years of development. The new Cutlass is built only in Doraville, Georgia by one team of workers, and it's built to last. Backed by a 6-year, 60,000-mile warranty. It's here now at Mitchell Motors. The most advanced Cutlass ever. Impressive ride, responsive handling. Test drive the newest Oldsmobile at 5675 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. Georgia's oldest Oldsmobile dealer, Mitchell Motors Oldsmobile.
AM 750 WSB.
Larry Munson, Butch, Clifton, Phil Schaefer in Baton Rouge. 11:49 to go. Kentucky in a fight for their life to win the championship that the whole world knows belongs to them. What are the percentages?
Georgia's now improved to 45% of their field goal attempts. That's a very marked improvement down the stretch. They've got 18 rebounds. Kentucky has 20. Kentucky shooting 46%. Both below their seasonal average. But when you get in a game of this magnitude with a great intensity and a really tough physical man-to-man defense, it's hard to get a wide-open shot. When you do get it, you're so tired, fatigued, your legs are not in it, you shoot short. That's the one thing that's bothering me right now. Georgia leads at 48-44, but Big Rob Locke is about to wake up. The gentle giant coming back. He's got 3 stickbacks. I don't like that. I like him better when he's quiet and asleep.
Dogs put Neville Austin in and Jody Patton to give a couple of guys some rest. Kentucky's going to take it out. 11:49. Georgia leading Kentucky 48-44. Bennett underneath. Holds, looks to Madison. Back to Rex Chapman, and the Cats will come down. They're going to let the pure shooter shoot it. Will they give him a screen or a partial screen? They go to Davender out high. Kentucky working. They've cut it to 4. It was 6 for a moment there. And Davender to Chapman. There's a long one. Short. And the rebound, Tony Mack underneath to Hamilton. Here come the men in red down the floor. Hamilton coming down. Hamilton sitting out high. On the left to Tony Mack. He cut around his man. Screen, Neville, bank. No good. Short. Rebound. We forced it out. Willie trying to come up. They were short. We were short. Austin set a screen for Tony, and he couldn't hit the bank.
Well, they had an overplay. Bennett tried to steal it. He just took it hard to the baseline. He's about 10 feet and short-armed it. I guess his legs gave out. That could be a good sign of fatigue right there.
Rex Chapman over on the left to Big Madison of Kentucky, one of their senior reserves. Madison to Davender in the left corner. Davender drives, floats in the lane, got in there and jumped. In and out, no good in the rebound. The Kentucky's Big Lock saved it in the corner. Goes back into Bennett. Bennett jumps it up good. A little 3-footer. 48-46. We were 48-42. Kentucky now has cut this thing to 2 with 10:50 to go. Willie Anderson coming down to Jody Patton. Jody Patton sitting outside. Hamilton lets him roll around a little. He gives it to Tony Mack in the left wing. Alley-oop! And Willie Anderson slammed it in, and the Dogs lead 50-46.
Great assist from Tony Mack.
Anderson, Chapman gave it to Bennett. To Chapman, Willie slammed it in a little over 10 minutes. Kentucky's 4 down. On the right to Madison. They run a pattern. Here comes Davender to the right of the circle. Doesn't do it. He looks. Davender dribbles out at the head of the key, though not real deep. And they go to Bennett. 10-foot jump. No good. Mack at the rebound. A man got right on his back. It'll be the Dogs' ball under there. Boy, you can see somebody come right over his back when he tipped it out. 10-13 to go. Georgia leading Kentucky 50-46. Anderson to Hamilton to Anderson. Chapman pressing a little bit. Willie comes across, gives it to Jody Patton, who's out there in front of him. Jody says a number to Hamilton. Jody Patton, high post left side to Mack. Back to Jody. Jump in and out. One of those jumpers by Patton, a 16-footer, no good. Chapman under some pressure almost dropped it. Nimerick Corp at the casketed down. So Chapman jumps in a circle. Good. Of course, you know if he shoots, you've just got to get the ball to Chapman, which is, of course, all they're going to have to do if they're going to do it every time down. 50-48. Gosh, he can shoot.
Got a Jody. Quiet turnover. 5 turnovers for Georgia, 11 for Kentucky. Georgia's taking care of the ball.
Anderson to Tony Mack. Outside to Jody Patton. Under 9.5 now. Trying to go on the pass. Bad pass. Trying to go low post, but Jody Patton rested his bad low bounce. And Neville finally picked it up. Willie was reaching also, and we're going to set it up again. 50-48, Georgia. Patrick Hamilton outside. Hamilton on the right of the line. Then to Willie outside the free throw line. He goes one way and the other. Willie going in. And who caught him from behind? And somebody caught him in the front. Bennett fouled him.
On the block.
9:07.
Good to see Willie getting assertive again. We've seen it all afternoon. He now has 17 points. He's looking for the shot, and he really made a good move as he went to the basket. In the Big East Championship at the half, Syracuse 39, Villanova 34, and here in Baton Rouge is Georgia 50, Kentucky 48.
Kentucky puts Manuel back in. We put Rod Cole back in. We put Tony Mack down to give him a blow. 9:07. Willie Anderson on the line. He hits the free throw. 51-48. Kentucky has 7 fouls on him in this half. Dogs only have 2 at the moment. Willie's got 18 points. Big Lock going to sit down. Cedric Jenkins, another senior, has come in, who is a native of our state. Willie Anderson puts the second shot up. In and out. No good, and Manuel rebounds. Everything hurts if it doesn't drop. Manuel coming down for Kentucky. 9:01 to go. Then to Davender dribbling out high. Hamilton wants to put some pressure on him if he can. Now Davender going to start driving. We let him in the lane. He shot the layup too hard. And they call what? A charge maybe? He hit Patton. What do we got?
Patton was there. He took the charge. Once again, he sacrificed.
He knocked Patton down, and
the discussion was whether the ball had been released in team possession. He had let it go. Jody takes the charge, so they walk the length of the floor, and he shoots the 1-and-1. Good call.
8:53 to go. Georgia 51 and Kentucky 48. Just a few of you students come out and meet that old plane when we come in tonight. Somewhere around 9. Jody Patton, front rim, no good. That's got to be fatigue. Kentucky's ball. All of a sudden, we're missing free throws. Jody threw it off the front rim, and not that close either. 8:52. We might be running out of gas, Butch. Bennett's going to take it out. We're acting like we're going to press. Bennett to Manuel over on one side. 51-48. Even a couple of free throws. Looks so big. Manuel, one way and the other, got a little pick to come across with his left hand. Gives it to Chapman. Chapman driving. Chapman jumps. No good off the left, but Big Bennett tips it in, and it's 51-50. Willie gives it to Hamilton to Willie. This is why I moan if you miss something, because every point is so big. 8:28. Dogs fighting Kentucky for the championship. Over in the right wing to Neville Austin. To Cole outside. Then to Hamilton jump left. Bang! Hamilton hits a 15-foot jump on the left. Georgia leading 53-50. And Manuel gives it to Chapman, and the Cats come down the floor. 8:12 to go. Kentucky coming down. They're still behind. Can you imagine that? Chapman working outside. Chapman looks. He's out deep out there. On the left to Davender. Davender going to go to the baseline. 2 men going to pick him up. Back out to Jenkins. Pull out high in the left wing. Then to Davender down near low left, but not in the corner. Davender looking. Chapman, long one. He missed it, but the rebound Bennett. Anderson tipped it out of his hands to Jody Patton, and the Dogs got the ball. Jody cradled it like a fullback. Georgia coming down the floor with 7:42 to go. Hamilton on the right side. Neville Austin going to lob low post. Willie, 10-footer, no good. I knew the moment he shot it would be no good, and the rebound is Davender. Shot it too high, and now Davender going to come down. Man, we got it down, and we shot too quick. Davender coming down for Kentucky. 7:24 to go. They're 3 down. Davender looking, then to Cedric Jenkins on the right. Back out to Davender on the right wing. Davender, high pass to Manuel, who caught it high out front, and back to Davender. Davender going to lob it into Cedric Jenkins. Back to Davender. Open, long jumper. No good. Rebound Jenkins. He's on somebody's back, I think. Is he on Neville, or is it a foul on Neville? 10-second pause here for station identification.
Kuppenheimer Men's Clothiers and your Atlanta Coca-Cola bottler are bringing you University of Georgia basketball on AM 750 WSB Radio Atlanta, the sports voice of the South.
Time here, 7:07 to go. 60-second local break. This is a Bulldog Network.
Time's come to keep your eyes and ears open for outstanding feats of amateur athletes. Koper Brothers is anxious to know of amateurs in any sport who reside or attend school in Greater Atlanta. Get your nominations in before the end of the month. Call 938-3200 with your nominee. On Main Street in Tucker.
Let Kuppenheimer tip you off on a wise business decision. Shop Kuppenheimer for everyday values on suits, sport coats, slacks. All made in the USA, in their own factories. There's no middleman, so you come out the winner. Kuppenheimer Men's Clothiers, now with 9 locations in the Atlanta area, including new stores in Gwinnett Place Mall and in Herman's Plaza, next to Town Center at Cobb. AM 750 WSB.
7, Butch, what do you got over there on that segment?
Georgia in the second half is shooting 54% of the team, so that raises their overall percentage in the game to 44%. They normally shoot around the 50% mark, but because of the intensity and the good defense by Kentucky, Georgia's really struggled today and most of the term up there. Kentucky only 43%. On the boards, Kentucky's now taken over late with the emergence of Rob Locke, who's had 3 stickbacks. Winston Bennett's had 2. Kentucky now leads on the board 28-21. Patrick Hamilton, 4 out of 7 for Georgia. Unsung hero, good defense, has hit 2 wide-open jump shots when Georgia really needed it.
Kentucky gets the ball out of bounds underneath. Manuel will take it out. They're 3 points down, and I know nobody believes that, but they still are. Manuel will take it out when television says go ahead. We didn't change our lineup at that moment. We've given Kessler a pretty good blow. Now we're giving Willie a rest now.
Willie's out.
Manuel of Kentucky looking for somebody. Chapman on the left wing. Cole going to try to handle him. Chapman drove and he hit him with his shoulder, and they call a block on Cole. Chapman just went into him, gave him the shoulder and the chest, knocked him down, and blocking foul on Cole. That's only 4 fouls on us in this half, and Kentucky's going to take it out in there. Kentucky again takes it out. No shooting foul. Manuel in the corner to Davender. Davender starts down a baseline. Back out front to Jenkins. Then to Bennett out there high. Then to Davender. Kentucky's 3 points down. 6:54 to go. Davender of Kentucky out high post. Manuel. Patton trying to push with him. Manuel, Davender. Davender going to drive. Got in the lane and stuck it up, and it rolled in good. And
Patton took the charge.
And he charged Patton. He went in to cut it to 1, but he slammed into Patton. And we will come down the floor. No, we will shoot it. Because it's 1-on-1, 6:43.
Prior to that penetration move into the lane by Davender, I was going to say one of the real keys to the game is the fact he only had 7 points. In both wins over Georgia, he scored 20 or more points to lead Kentucky in scoring.
Patton got to have the free throw. 6:43 to go. Georgia leading 53-52 with no bench and not enough size and no rest. No rest whatsoever. Patton dips the knees, shoots, rolled out. No good. Now you know they're dog tired. When a guy like Patton can't hit a free throw like that, he missed one a little while ago. Here come the Cats. Their fans come up roaring now. They might smell blood here. Davender to Bennett on the right. We can't hit anything when we really have to have just a scratch point. Emmanuel high. Kentucky slowly on a pattern to the right. There goes Davender driving layup good. You could see that coming. Gosh, are we tired. Neville Austin gives it to Hamilton. The Cats finally get ahead with a little over 6 minutes. 54-53. Hamilton to Neville Austin, high post. Austin threw it out of bounds into there, but the Cats tipped it last. 6:04. We're trying to fight him like a dog, and we ain't got blood, flesh, bone, nothing. Hamilton's going to take it out underneath. Hamilton looking, holding. Hamilton over his head, way outside to Rod Cole, who gives it to Jody Patton. Somebody's got to hit something. We got to get adrenaline here. Jody Patton working. Jody Patton under pressure by Chapman gives it to Hamilton. 5:54 to go. We're 1 point down. We led for so long by so little. Austin working to Patton. Right corner. Hamilton, good. Hamilton hit an 18-footer, not long enough for three. 55 to 54. Manual across. Davender leaning on the right, in and out, no good, and Neville Austin, the tall, skinny freshman, got the rebound over to Hamilton, and the men in red walk down. Let us walk, you guys. We're tired. Hamilton coming down at 5:15. Hamilton on the right side to Neville Austin. Austin going to give it to Jody. Almost a screen for a moment. Jody going around the right. Chapman watching. Jody comes back, gives it to Tony Mack. 1 point lead. Neville Austin high post under some pressure, then to Jody back deep to Patrick. Yes, we're working the clock a little. To Tony Mack on the left wing, 4:54. Rod Cole went to Austin, who had it knocked out of his hands. We went low post on a bounce, and we could not keep control off Neville's hand.
Georgia had three freshmen in for the last 4 minutes and lost no ground to speak of. Georgia still leads 55-54. The quickness factor, because Georgia's a little tired, is in Kentucky's favor at this point of the game.
Kessler has come back in, and we sit Neville down, and they come down. Time called. Look at the fours up there. 4:44. Look at Georgia leading Kentucky by 1. 60-second local break here, Bulldog Network.
Weekends, days off, don't want to work no more. Gonna take my time now that it's mine, and I don't want to be where there's no Coca-Cola. This is the life, these are the real things, and you're the heart of it. Every day, in every way, Coca-Cola's a part of your life. Oh, and Coca-Cola's a part of your life. You can't beat the feeling.
Coca-Cola Classic. Mitchell Motors Oldsmobile presents the all-new 1988 Olds Cutlass Supreme. The result of 5 years of development. The new Cutlass is built only in Doraville, Georgia by one team of workers, and it's built to last. Backed by a 6-year, 60,000-mile warranty. It's here now at Mitchell Motors. The most advanced Cutlass ever. Impressive ride, responsive handling. Test drive the newest Oldsmobile at 5675 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. Georgia's oldest Oldsmobile dealer, Mitchell Motors Oldsmobile.
AM 750 WSB.
Georgia 55, Kentucky 54. No bench, no nothing. We're still alive, but it's going to take something to happen here.
Well, they still got a lot of heart, and they're playing on adrenaline. They're playing together. They've got a good game plan. The staff's done a good job. They're doing what they have to. The adrenaline still carries them as they go. They're up to 46% shooting. Kentucky only shooting 44. The boards, Kentucky leads 29-22, and Georgia has 7 offensive rebounds. A couple of turnovers late. But every time something happens, Patrick Hamilton stepped up and hit a couple of baskets. Somebody else is trying to be a hero for Georgia.
55-54, Georgia leading the Cats late for a championship down in Louisiana. And again, if a couple of students could just meet that old terrible airplane when we land around 9 o'clock. I know it's a bad plane. It's going to embarrass you, but a couple of people could just wave at them when they get off the plane. God, have they given this thing a shot. 55-54 and 4:44 to go. Kessler and Mack and Willie, Hamilton and Cole. 1 point game. We've still got a lead. Will Kentucky go to Chapman, or will they just pump it in there? They've sure given their Rob Locke a rest in the last few minutes with Jenkins.
They really have. You know, Bennett's awfully tough going to the offensive boards. He's strong. He's a fifth-year senior. Already graduated from undergraduate. Getting his MBA. He and Jenkins both are veterans, and they're really tough inside in the paint when the ball's on the glass.
Bennett gave it to Davender on the other side of the line, and Davender brings it across. One hand held out in the guard position as Hamilton looks at it. Now to Manuel deep on the left. Manuel holds to Chapman. Chapman left wing. Got to watch him. Chapman outside. Chapman looks to go in the corner to Manuel on the left side. Dogs chasing a man-to-man to Davender, who's going in. He backs up. Now he's on the baseline. Good. Davender rips an 11-footer. Kentucky leads 56-55. Dogs coming down the floor at 4:12 to go. Willie Anderson brings it across to Tony Mack on the right side to Hamilton. Hamilton drove baseline, got him, but they blocked an over-the-head shot. Jenkins rebounds for Kentucky, and Hamilton reached and grabbed his wrist.
Only the 15th foul. Kentucky will not shoot. That didn't hurt him. It was a careless foul. But as I mentioned before, Jenkins is a fifth-year guy. He knew how to hold position. He made a critical block because Hamilton had the layup.
Patrick drove in and tried to hook it over his head. Kentucky blocked it, and we grabbed and fouled. Now Kentucky's got the ball and a one-point lead. Dogs won't quit, but there's no fresh people left, of course, to put in even for a minute and a half. Davender outside for Kentucky to Chapman. Chapman watching on the right wing. Chapman looks, backs one way in the corner. Big Jenkins back out to Chapman. Watch Chapman. Davender at a screen, didn't use it when the pass came across to him. Back to Jenkins deep now. Jenkins to Manuel deep out on the left. Kentucky by 1 point, 3:29 now to go. Jenkins backs on the right. Back to Chapman. Watch Chapman. Drive. Shoots. No good. Rebound. Kentucky pick it up 12 feet on the right. Bennett picked it up when it bounced way over, or he would have had it. Look at Kentucky with the ball and a 1-point lead. Davender to Chapman out on the right wing. Chapman holds, waits for him to cut slowly to Jenkins out there high. Post to Chapman, to Manuel on the right to Chapman. Kentucky milking clock. Kentucky 1-point lead. 2:59 to go. Chapman walking, dribbling slowly deep outside. Chapman just standing there dribbling like a game of 30 years ago. Chapman just standing and stalling and stalling. 2:46 to go. Chapman to Manuel. That's all right. That might give us more of a blow. Manuel starts one way in, jumps, feeds Davender. He drives and puts it up high. No good. Rebound. Davender caught it on the right. We're too tired to rebound now. Davender to Chapman. Kentucky fans roar because they get the shot. They miss, they get the rebound.
And they get the new 45 seconds in their favor. They'll try and run more clock. If they could do it a couple of times and get a couple of timeouts, Georgia would be able to catch their breath. They're dog tired, as you mentioned, and the quickness is in Kentucky's favor.
Chapman stalling, standing. Just standing there like a kid with an apple in his hands. A big apple. He's got both hands. 2:07 to go. Kentucky stalling. Won't pass, won't dribble. Standing, stalling. 12 seconds on the shot clock now. They have this planned. Chapman, long jumper. No good. Rebound. Jenkins dropped the ball. Rod Cole picked it up a half an inch from the line. Here we come back down the floor. 1:49. Dogs coming back down at 109 seconds and now less than that. Willie Anderson over to Patrick Hamilton. Hamilton to Tony Mack. On the left side to Willie. To Rod Cole in the circle looking. To Kessler pull out on the left near the wing. Kessler outside to Hamilton. 91 seconds. 56-55. Kentucky. Hamilton looking. Kessler to the high post. Back to Hamilton, who went in. And what do we call here? Did somebody slap at him going in? What do we got?
He was hacked on the arm by Chapman, I believe, as he got the advantage he had to reach. It puts Patrick at the line with 1:23 to go for the 1-1. Kentucky leads Georgia 56-55.
How many free throws have we missed in the second half? 3, 4, all crucial.
11 for 17.
Missed 6, 1-1 Hamilton. 83 seconds.
Normally Georgia shoots about 74% at the line. Today they're shooting 65. Kentucky, on the other hand, 8 out of 8 at the line for 100%.
1-1. Patrick Hamilton. God, what a tournament he's had. He sticks it up. Good. 56-56 with 83 seconds. Just a couple of students come to the airport and look at that old World War II bomber limp in the night. Around 9. Hamilton going to get another shot. Good. 83 seconds. Georgia leading 57-56. Bennett to Chapman. Famous Kentucky. Unbeatable Kentucky coming down the floor. Chapman coming across. Time, Kentucky. 76 seconds. Time, 60-second local break. This is a Bulldog Network.
The airport cabbie and step on him.
Right.
When you have to eat breakfast on the run, Hardee's is out to win you over. It's the Roadie, a big coffee with our exclusive new practically unspillable yet still drinkable Sure Sip lid.
Little bump coming up.
Plus a rise and shine biscuit with egg topped with ham or bacon or sausage or steak.
We're here.
Oh, gee. What took you so long?
The Roadie Breakfast Special for a limited time at participating Hardee's.
Mitchell Motors Oldsmobile presents the all-new 1988 Olds Cutlass Supreme. The result of 5 years of development. The new Cutlass is built only in Doraville, Georgia by one team of workers, and it's built to last. Backed by a 6-year, 60,000-mile warranty. It's here now at Mitchell Motors. The most advanced Cutlass ever. Impressive ride, responsive handling. Test drive the newest Oldsmobile at 5675 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. Georgia's oldest Oldsmobile dealer, Mitchell Motors Oldsmobile.
AM 750 WSB.
76 seconds. Georgia leading 57-56, but Kentucky's got the ball with all the size, millions of reserves sitting on the bench. Who do they go to? Do they put Rob Locke down? He's had an 8 or 9 minute rest. Are they going to put that giant in there? Just feed him in there? He's got to be totally and fully rested.
Well, the one statistic that scares me late, at halftime it was a 15-15 rebound situation. No advantage either way. In the second half, Kentucky's out-rebounded Georgia 18-7. That means that if they put it up, the advantage goes to Big Locke, as you mentioned, because he's awakened inside, and what they're looking for is the second score, not really so much the first. Get the good shot, hit the offensive glass, and you're battling a bunch of midgets in there. Cole's got the last 2 rebounds, and he's 6'3".
Yeah, they put Locke back in. I suggested it might happen. Minute and 16, 57-56, Georgia. Kentucky's got the ball. Bennett to Davender. Kentucky doesn't dare make a mistake now. Minute and 11 seconds. Davender comes across. Watch Kentucky. 2 men low right, 1 man low left. There's Bennett, low post, banking. Good. And Kentucky takes the lead back 62 seconds. 58-57. Willie to Patrick to Willie. Anderson coming down 55 seconds. We're 1 point down, 53. Hamilton holding, looking under pressure on the left wing to Tony Mack. 48 seconds, 1 point down to Rod Cole. Georgia will not quit. Cole to Hamilton out there deep and high. 40 seconds, 39 seconds on the right wing to Alec Kessler. Kessler to Tony Mack. In, jump. Oh, in and out. And manual rebound. Cats got the ball. The clock now. That really hurt. 27 seconds. 58-57. Here come the Cats now. But God, did we force them to the wall. Manual coming out. They could still maybe make a mistake. Chapman dribbling 16 seconds. Willie fouled him out front. 16 seconds.
Well, he had to do that one to stop the clock and invite Kentucky to beat Georgia at the line. Kentucky leads Georgia 58-57, 16 seconds. Kentucky's 8 out of 8 on their free throw attempt. They're one of the top 10 free throw shooting teams in the country. But he had no other choice. If he hits both ends, Georgia can still tie it with a 1-1, and Coach Durham is signaling for a timeout.
We knocked Auburn out and Florida out. Mississippi State in the opener played those games after midnight. 1 down, time called, 60-second local break. This is a Bulldog now.
Time's come to keep your eyes and ears open for outstanding feats of amateur athletes. Koper Brothers is anxious to know of amateurs in any sport who reside or attend school in Greater Atlanta. Get your nominations in before the end of the month. Call 938-3200 with your nominee. On Main Street in Tucker.
Let Kuppenheimer tip you off on a wise business decision. Shop Kuppenheimer for everyday values on suits, sport coats, slacks. All made in the USA, in their own factories. There's no middleman, so you come out the winner. Kuppenheimer Men's Clothiers, now with 9 locations in the Atlanta area, including new stores in Gwinnett Place Mall and in Herman's Plaza, next to Town Center at Cobb. AM 750 WSB.
Well, Butch conceding that Chapman could never miss a free throw, at least not on earth. Let's say that we're going to be 3 down and we'll come down the floor.
Well, if we're 3 down, he's got to put Jody Patton back in the game, and I saw Jody go check in, so he's got his 3-point shooters on the floor. If Patton hits it, then Georgia's got plenty of time to come down and get the first shot. If they miss the rebound, they'll kick it out and go for the 3-point attempt.
But they'll press us, won't they? After these free throws, they'll press.
They want Georgia to use about 8 seconds to bring it down, but they cannot afford to foul, so a good speed dribble and a good penetration off the dribble against the press will enable Georgia to get on the floor very quickly and get the good shot.
Rex Chapman averaging 18 points, has 19. He goes to the line with a chance to ice it for Kentucky.
He's 3 for 3.
But you think they haven't been in a brawl? 58-57. Television's going to let him shoot in a moment.
Unbelievable.
I'll tell you one thing, whatever this crowd was, 11 or 12 or so, but not a capacity today. They've really stayed seated for this one. We've really given these guys a shot. All right, now they're going to hand the ball to Chapman. Just a couple of students come to the airport around 9. Chapman, number 1, good. Kentucky 59-57.
So what's new? You know, he's just a quality player.
Oh, yeah.
One of the top performers in the country. His dad's a coach at Kentucky Western. They're playing in the tournament playoffs. He's just been around it all his life, and he acts like it. He's got ice water in his veins. Georgia needs to get it down quickly.
2-point game, 16 seconds. He hit them both. Now, Kentucky calls time. That's all right. We'll sit down and rest again. That's all right. 60-57, Kentucky. The odds suddenly went 100,000 to nothing against it. It wasn't that bad at the beginning. 30-second local break here. This is the Bulldog Network.
Weekends, days off, don't want to work no more. Gonna take my time now that it's mine, and I don't want to be where there's no Coca-Cola. This is the life. These are the real things, and you're the heart of it. Every day, in every way, Coca-Cola's a part of your life. Oh, and Coca-Cola's a part of your life. You can't beat the feeling.
Coca-Cola Classic. AM 750 WSB.
Kentucky 60, Georgia 57. We've got 16 seconds to get it down. I guarantee you they are not going to let us bring it down soft, and they are not going to let us set up a three-point thing. You can count on that.
Well, they don't have any fouls to waste. They can't do anything careless. And Georgia's got to get it in and realize that and go to the basket strong, and then get out of this end and realize that Kentucky will defend the three-point shot and give the easy basket inside.
Well, who's going to take the three-point shot? And how many seconds will it take us to get it down? Kentucky fans stand up roaring against us here.
Georgia will get the two shots. I really believe that. I think they'll get the first three-pointer, and then they'll scrap and kick it out for the second. Unless they hit it, they'll still have a good opportunity to do that. So they've got a long time. They've got plenty of time to get shots.
Their press bothers me, and that's because of the fatigue thing in our lake. Mack and Hamilton and Jody and Willie, and who is the fifth man? He's not out there. Will be Kessler. He took his time coming out. Durham calls Hamilton back, says one more thing to him, and Hamilton then walks down. Now, they'll press, they'll eat us all up, I imagine. Lock drops back by Kessler. Bennett's out of midcourt by Tony Mack. Dog's going to take it out. Willie to Tony Mack to Willie. We're coming down quickly. Oh, he dropped the ball and traveled. That's fatigue. We're too tired. We're worn out. They asked us to do too much.
Now they've got to foul immediately and put them back on the line.
It took 3 seconds only, and we were coming down unmolested driving, and we made a floor mistake all by ourselves with no defender around, and that's fatigue when one team has to play that many games even early in the morning, and the other one lays in bed and waits for them. One of those things, we're all worn out now. That was just brutally hard to look at.
Well, they did a good job. They got it in, and he got it right back. It was on a speed dribble, and when he got a little pressure, he tried to cross over, and he had it in his left hand, and it stuck to his thigh, and he did take a step and drop it, so it was a walk. But once again, 13 seconds. Go for the steal. If you don't get the steal, foul them immediately and put them back on the line. And let's recreate the same scene we just had. We got time.
Except the Cats would never miss a free throw on a crucial thing, I do not think. And then, of course, they are fresh and rested in comparison. We put Neville Austin in and Rod Cole in. Somebody will sit down. Boy, have we given these guys a fight.
I think this is very positive for anything that happens. Let's think win or tie and get overtime. But irregardless, the committee's got to look at the effort today and what Georgia's done in the tournament.
Well, let's hope. Cole and Hamilton and Mack and Neville and Willie. We made a floor mistake. Can't believe it. We kicked it off from the throw-in off to his left, back to the man that threw it, and we start down. Kentucky will take it out. We'll foul them, and then that could be a 5-point game. 13 seconds. We took them down that close to the end. While the NCAA committee sat there nauseated looking at it, probably, I would imagine, scared to death. The Cats now will just take it out and wait for the free throw. 13 seconds. Think of the shots that went in and out. Think of the free throws that wouldn't fall. Manuel, Kentucky takes it out. They line up and set it up, and they feed it to Chapman, and We fouled Chapman, the one you don't want to, but Kentucky made sure we did that very wisely. It took 1 second. They put Chapman on the line. That puts him 5 ahead. Because, again, I told you he's not going to miss anything. Chapman will go to the line 60 to 57. That is, you don't think that he will. Kessler now wants to come back in, and Neville Austin will sit down. 12 seconds. Boy, they lined up 4 men real close to the guy kicking it in, and they gave it to Chapman because they want to force us to foul.
Doing a good, clever job of substituting. He's sending them in one at a time to try and ice Chapman, doing everything he can. Now, here comes Blakely, another three-point shooter. Good strategy.
Blakely for who? Blakely for who? One of the officials going to stop us from getting him in. Now they run Hamilton off. Now they will let Blakely. They almost didn't let him in, I guess, because we substituted a little late, huh? All right, Rex Chapman, who hit 2 a little while ago to ice it for them, unless he blows this one. Good. The Cats now see that they have won another championship, but they were supposed to win it so very, 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 very easy. 61 to 57. Chapman will get another shot. Good. 62 to 57. Willie gets it out to Blakely. We run down the floor. Little Blakely on the left to Tony Mack. Long three-pointer, back rim, no good. Willie the rebound, back to Blakely. Long three-pointer, no good. And that's it. It's all over. We tried, but we had to play too many games compared to anybody else, and down we go. But God, we gave them a fight. Kentucky a winner, 62 to 50.